Stop. Before you plant another thing in a container, you need to see this. I just made a $3,000 mistake that could have been avoided if I knew these 7 secrets I'm about to share with you. And secret number 5? It's so controversial that some gardening experts told me I was crazy until they saw my results. But first, let me show you the one thing I wish someone had told me before I killed $500 worth of plants in just 2 weeks. And after spending over $10,000 on container gardening failures and successes, I've cracked the code. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why 90% of container gardens fail. And more importantly, how to be in that successful 10%. 3 years ago, I was that person who could kill a cactus. I had dreams of a beautiful patio garden, but everything I touched turned brown. I spent endless hours on YouTube, bought every miracle soil mix, and even hired a so-called expert who charged me $800 for advice that made everything worse. But then I discovered something that changed everything, and it's probably sitting in your garage right now. Breakthrough came when I accidentally stumbled upon a technique that professional nurseries use but never tell home gardeners about. I'll reveal this insider secret at the 8-minute mark. But first, let me take you through the 7 secrets that transformed me from a plant killer into someone whose neighbors now pay me for gardening advice. Secret number 1. The size deception. Secret number 1. Everything you think you know about pot sizes is backwards. Here's what the garden centers don't want you to know. Most people think bigger pots are just for bigger plants. Wrong. The truth is, even small plants perform 300% better in oversized containers. I learned this the hard way when I spent $300 on beautiful herbs in cute 6-inch pots. Within a month, dead. But watch this, same plant, same care, different pot sizes. The results will shock you, and I'll show you the exact measurements that make the difference in just a moment. Here's the science. Larger pots maintain consistent moisture levels, prevent root binding, and create thermal stability. But here's the secret part. You can actually trick small plants into thinking they're in a massive root system. Watch this technique I learned from a $2,000 per hour landscape landscape designer. Take one $15 plant, divide the root ball like this, and now you've got the impact of a $60 mature plant for a fraction of the cost. Secret number 2. The drainage lie. Secret number 2 will make you angry at every garden center you've ever visited. They sell you these beautiful, expensive pots knowing full well they're plant death traps. Every single premium pot I've bought, and I mean every single one, had inadequate drainage. I discovered this after my $200 Japanese maple turned into a $200 lesson in root rot. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a specific number of holes and a precise size that creates perfect drainage. And I'm going to show you exactly what that is. This tool changed my life, a diamond chip hole saw. But here's the hack that makes it foolproof. This little trick ensures you never crack another expensive pot while improving drainage. And wait until you see what happens when I show you the underground drainage system that most people never think about. Secret number 3. The soil conspiracy. Secret number 3 is about to expose a massive conspiracy in the gardening industry. That $12 bag of premium potting soil? It's designed to fail that I spent over $1,000 on different soil mixes before I figured this out. The bag says feeds plants for 6 months, but your plants are struggling after 6 weeks. Why? Because they're missing the one ingredient that professional growers swear by, but never put in commercial mixes. Watch this transformation. Store-bought soil plus chicken manure plus this secret ingredient from my own yard. Look at that richness. But the real game changer comes when I show you this soil sandwich technique that reduces your soil costs by 60% while actually improving plant health. This technique I learned from a commercial greenhouse manager. Instead of filling this entire tall pot with soil, which would cost $40 and weigh 80 pounds, watch this. Inverted nursery pot at the bottom, drainage material, then your premium soil mix on top. Same results, half the cost, and you can actually move your pots. Secret number 4. The watering trap. Secret number 4 is why 80% of container plants die. And it's not what you think. Most people think they're underwatering. But the real killer is inconsistent watering. I used to be that person standing out there every evening with a hose, thinking I was being a good plant parent. What I was actually doing was creating a stress cycle that was slowly killing my plants. But then I discovered this set it and forget it system that waters my entire container garden automatically for less than $50. This simple drip system was a game changer. But here's the professional secret. Always bring the water line through the bottom of the pot, not over the edge. It's invisible and prevents accidental disconnections. But what if you have pots where you can't install drip irrigation? That's where this NASA technology comes in. These water-storing crystals were originally developed for space missions. Watch this. 1/4 cup becomes this overnight. Your plants get consistent moisture for weeks. Secret number 5, the controversial hack. All right, here's secret number 5, the one that gardening experts called crazy. I line my pots with garbage. Yes, you heard that right. Bubble wrap garbage. And it's the reason my plants survive 110-degree heat while my neighbor's identical plants crisp up like potato chips. Within 6 months, 80% were dead. Why? Because I ignored every single secret I just shared with you. But here's the twist. I took that $3,000 lesson and turned it into a system that saved me thousands. Using these 7 secrets, I've created a container garden that gets more valuable every year, requires minimal maintenance, and survives extreme weather that kills traditional gardens. If you've watched this far, you're serious about creating an amazing container garden. But knowing these secrets is just the beginning. I promised you that list of investment plants, the ones that get more beautiful and valuable every year in containers. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because next week I'm releasing the most comprehensive container gardening series ever created. Episode 1 covers the 15 plants that are practically immortal in containers, and I'm going to reveal the single biggest container gardening myth that's probably costing you money right now. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 7 secrets surprised you the most? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we dive deep into the plants that will change your gardening life forever. Don't leave yet. If you loved learning these secrets, you need to watch this video next, where I reveal the 5 container plants that are impossible to kill, even for beginners. And this one shows my complete setup process from start to finish. Subscribe for weekly container gardening secrets that actually work. Here's what happened. I had $400 worth of boxwoods die in one heat wave. I was ready to give up on container gardening entirely. Then I remembered something from my construction days: thermal barriers. The same principle that keeps buildings cool can keep plant roots cool. Recycled bubble wrap lines the sunny side of the pot before soil goes in. It creates an insulating air gap that can lower root zone temperature by 15 to 20 degrees. The results were so dramatic that I had to take photos to prove it wasn't just luck. Same variety, same care, same brutal sun exposure. The only difference? The bubble wrap barrier. Professional nurseries have been using this technique for years, but they never teach home gardeners about it. Secret number 6. The grouping psychology. Secret number 6 is pure psychology. And it's why some container gardens look like $1 million while others look like scattered afterthoughts. Professional designers use this trick to make $500 worth of plants look like a $5,000 landscape installation. It's all about creating focal points through strategic grouping. But here's what most people get wrong. They think it's just about putting 3 pots together. The real secret is in the proportions, and I'm about to show you the golden ratio that makes any grouping look professionally designed. Odd numbers, varying heights. But here's the secret. The largest pot should be 1.5 times the height of the medium pot, and the medium should be 1.3 times the height of the smallest. But the real magic happens when you add this one element that most people never think of: a single decorative element, a piece of driftwood, a sculptural plant, even a strategically placed stone, transforms a grouping from nice to magazine-worthy. Secret number 7. The maintenance myth. Secret number 7 is going to change how you think about container garden maintenance forever. Everyone thinks container gardens are high maintenance. The truth? Done right, they're easier than traditional gardens. But there's one maintenance mistake that's costing you hundreds of dollars every year. And I bet you're making it right now. Most people treat container gardening like flower arranging, beautiful for a season, then replace everything. That's exactly backwards. When you follow the first 6 secrets, Your containers become permanent ecosystems that get more beautiful every year. Look at this grouping: Year 1, Year 2, Year 3. Same containers, same investment, but watch how the value compounds. The secret is choosing plants that mature beautifully in containers rather than plants that peak and decline. And there's a specific list of these investment plants that I'll share in just a moment. Now, about that $3,000 mistake I mentioned at the beginning. I tried to create an instant mature garden by buying the biggest, most expensive plants I could find. Spent $3,000 in one weekend at the premium nursery.